نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال أخذ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بمنكبي فقال كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. وما بعد. We start in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are grateful to Allah. We are thankful to Allah. We testify that there is no one worthy of worship except Allah alone. We testify that Muhammad ﷺ is his final messenger and his slave. Brothers and sisters, the Prophet ﷺ was the best of advisors. He gave the best of advice. And in this hadith, Abdullah bin Umar, who was a Sahabi, radiallahu anhuma, he said that the Prophet ﷺ took me by the arms, took me by the shoulders to say that كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب. Be in this world as if you are a stranger. أو عابر سبيل. Or as if someone who is just treading the path on a long journey. Or someone who is traveling. Something to keep in mind is that before any one of us goes on any road trip, any journey whatsoever, you ask and you think, what do I take on a road trip? If I want to go from Michigan to New York, if I want to go from Michigan to New York, what do I take with me? If I'm going for 5 days, how many clothes am I taking with me? How many attires am I taking? If you have a watch collection at home, and you have a cologne collection at home, how many watches do I take with me to go to New York? And how many colognes am I taking with me to go to New York? If you have 10 sets of pants and 10 dress shirts, but you're going for 5 days, do I take all 10 dress shirts or do I take maybe 4 or 5? The Prophet ﷺ was the best of advisors. And this is the advice he gave to his beloved companion. That be in this dunya as if you're traveling. What that means is that you and I need to live based on what we need, not what we want. The year is about to close. The new year is going to begin, inshallah. And what I want us to do is to just reflect. If you had 2 bags in your hand, you had a bag in your right hand and a bag in your left hand. And these are good bags. No, there's no like bad bag here. They're both good. And in your right hand, the bag in your right hand is all your a'mal. For example, your prayers, the sadaqah you gave, the people you helped, the good behavior you had with people. This is your right hand. This is the bag you're holding, okay? And there's a weight to this bag, how heavy this is. And then in your left hand, there's another bag. And this is also a good bag. But what this bag is, for example, this year, you just got a new job, or you got a new car, or you got a house, or you progressed in your life goals. You finished your year, you're a sophomore in college now, or you're a junior in college now, or you're a senior in college now, you're progressing, you're a manager now, you're in the level 2 position now. Dunyawi achievements, things you work towards. It could be even recreational. Maybe you were good at basketball, now you're even better at basketball. This is this left hand. Both hands are good. They're both good. But if you were to ask yourself, which hand feels heavier in December after the entire year passed? Is it my left hand that's feeling heavier? It has more weight? Or is it my right hand? Are they equal? Are they similar? Most of us, including myself, we would feel our left hand is heavier because there's more in our left hand. We focused more on our achievements. We focused more on our careers. You know how to understand this? It's math. It's math. 24 hours in a day. How many hours goes towards sleeping? How many hours goes towards your work? How many hours goes towards your school, your college, your high school? How many hours is that? And then you look at the other hand, okay, how many hours am I using towards prayer? How much am I thinking about Allah? How much Quran am I reading? How much adhkar am I doing? So I think, at least for myself, I know that my left hand is going to be heavier. And the reason why usually the left hand is heavier, this is the reason why, this is how it connects, is because of the distractions we have in this world. The reason why the left hand is heavier is because of everything that I've mentioned. So I'll give an example. So you're supposed to go to college, you're supposed to study, you're at your university, you're looking for a degree. And you're there and your classes are 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock and then 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So from 10 to 12 and 2 to 4, you're at class, you're studying, you're doing homework. That's good. Why? You should do that. You should do well in that. But then from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, there's a block that's empty. There's no classes happening. And in that time, you can maybe eat some lunch, but in that time, you can also pray Dhuhr Salah. But you decided to extend your lunch. You decided to go out with the guys. You decided to spend more time and have more fun, and then there is no Salah, and then you go back to the next class. This is the problem. That distractions come in our life, and distractions take away from what should be in our right hand. I am not against anyone pursuing what's in the left hand. In reality, a good Muslim is someone who seeks excellence in everything he's doing. His studies, his work, his company, his business, whatever it is, he's going to seek excellence in it. A weak Muslim will try to seek excellence in his work and will forget about akhirah. That's the problem. And the reason behind that is because we don't live like strangers, we don't live like travelers, we don't live a life as if we are on a journey. We live our life as if we are here to stay. Brothers and sisters, if we go back to the example that I gave, if I'm going from Michigan to New York and I were to stop, why would I stop? There's only two reasons why someone who is on a road trip, a 12-hour road trip, from Michigan to New York stops. Only two reasons. One, his body gave out. His body gave out, meaning he has to use the restroom or you have to change drivers because he's tired. His physical body gave out. So he has to stop somewhere. The second reason, his car gave out. He has to get gas. He has to get gas. Those are the only two reasons anybody stops on the way on the road trip. Other than that, there are no stops. No one wants to stop. Why would you stop? Does anyone say, oh, we have a 12-hour drive to New York. Let's go to Ohio at the gas station. Let's sit there for 3 hours. No one does that. No one does that. This dunya is like our pit stop. This dunya is like the Ohio gas station stop. That you're only here just to get gas. Maybe you're here just to use the restroom, and then you have to go. You have a journey. You have a destination to reach. You have to get there. But if you come to the gas stop and you start looking around and wasting time, next thing you know, oh, my ETA changed. Now it's going to take me more time. It's going to take me even longer. Why? Because you got distracted. Because you got distracted. How many times are we traveling with our family and friends? We come to a stop and we say, know what you're getting, get exactly what you need, get your drink, come back quickly, don't waste time, come back so we can get there on time. Huh? What is our destination, brothers and sisters? Our destination is not here. Our destination is not our next house that we're going to purchase. Our destination is not the next city we're going to live in. Our destination is not the next job we're going to acquire. Our final destination is with Allah. It's why we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillah. Indeed, we belong to Allah. Allah, we are for Allah. Wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And surely, without a doubt, we are going back to Allah. We are going back to Allah. Someone who has this mindset, how is he going to live his life? Someone who has this mindset, how is he going to plan out his day? Someone who has this mindset, how will he take on everything he wants to do? He will look at the dunya differently. He will look at the dunya differently. And someone who doesn't think like this will have the hardest time on this dunya. They will have money, they will have family, they will have kids, they will have cars, they will have houses, but everything will be complicated. Every single affair will be complicated. So much to a point that they can buy a brand new car for their wife and she will say, I don't like the color. It's a brand new car, I don't like the color. I don't like the way the seat is. His son will be ungrateful. His wife will be ungrateful. His parents will be ungrateful. Everyone will be ungrateful. He has everything, but he has nothing. Because everything is complicated. The solution to our problems is one word. Simplicity. Wallahi, simplicity is the solution to all of our problems. We know even right after this khutbah, there's a nikah happening. This is according to the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that a nikah should be conducted in the masjid, in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the sunnah. The nikah should not, I'm not talking about the walima, the nikah should be in the masjid. Why? Because it's simple. Do you see decorated chairs here? Do you see a big banquet hall here? Do you see flowers all over the place? No. You see a carpet to pray on, a blessed carpet that everyone has, whose forehead has touched this ground. It's a mubarak, it's a blessed place. There is no cameraman here right now, but there are angels here right now, recording everything. That's how you know that deen is supposed to be simple. There's no food. You don't need food. You need nikah. Everything in life has simplicity to it. We make it complicated. We make it complicated, brothers and sisters. We don't live our life in accordance with the Prophet ﷺ, in accordance to his advice that he gave Abdullah ibn Umar. His advice is so simple. Think about this. Think about this Prophet ﷺ, our beloved Prophet Rasulullah. He is so thoughtful, so deep in his thought, that he just takes his hand to advise somebody, and within a few words, he's relaying such an eloquent message. Be in this dunya as if you are a stranger, or just a traveler on the road. What kind of this is a deep advice. That's it. Quick advice. We're giving a whole khutbah based on one sentence he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's who he was, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Such a thought-provoking man, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is our messenger, this is our role model, this is who we should be like. He was the ruler of an entire ummah. He had so much power. He had billionaires within his control. He had billionaires within his control. He could go wherever he wanted. He could do whatever he wanted. This was the man who was honored with the buraq. He didn't need a private jet. He had the buraq to take him to Al-Aqsa, to take him to the heavens. Jibreel alayhi salam came. He doesn't need a private jet. This is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is the same Prophet ﷺ who would wake up in the middle of the night quietly, without making any noise, to pray his tahajjud. But somehow, his wife knows he's praying. How can his wife know he's praying, that he's praying tahajjud when he's so quiet? How can she know he's praying when he's so quiet? How can you hear somebody at 3 a.m.? How do you hear somebody? Because of touch. His foot, when he's praying, his movement touched where she was sleeping. The room was so small and so simple, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. His room was so small and so simple that his movement in prayer could be felt by his wife sleeping. That's how small the room was. This was the leader of the ummah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The reason why we have problems is because of the hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that if the children of Adam had a mountain of gold, he would want a second mountain. Well, it's true. It's true. Ask yourself, is it not true? There are people who set these goals and milestones in their life. I'll give you a few examples so you can understand. One day, I want to buy a Rolex. That's the goal they have. I want to buy a Rolex. This is my goal in my life. SubhanAllah. One day I want to have a Lamborghini, a car, a specific car. I need to have this. This is my goal. I have a picture of it in my house. I look at it every day. This is my goal. This is what I want to work towards. One day I want to live in this house with my own basketball court in the backyard. These are the goals we have. Give this man that. Give this man his Rolex. Give him his car and give him that house. Then ask him, what's next? He will have something. He will have something. Oh, now I want to watch. I want an AP. Or what? Yeah, I want more expensive. I want this. I want that. I need a house that has an indoor pool, inside pool now. Indoor pool. What happened to the basketball court? I need a pool inside. I need a jacuzzi inside. Desires will continue. Wallahi, desires will continue. What we want will always be there. It will keep increasing and increasing and increasing. And that's when life becomes so complicated that all you're doing is chasing this next goal, this next goal, this next goal, that you don't make time for the bag in the right hand. So you skip Fajr, you skip Dhuhr, you skip Asr. Why? Because you're pursuing your goal. You skip Maghrib, you skip Isha. Why? Because you want that car. And you're just skipping and skipping and skipping. You're supposed to give money. Look at this, huh? Look at this. Allah promises in the Quran, that if you spend in the way of Allah, Allah will multiply that and give that back to you. We all know this, right? Everybody knows this. He has money, money comes, he gets a bonus, he gets extra money in his hand, maybe he gets a raise, he gets a promotion. First thing he thinks about, now I can get that car I wanted. Now I can take that vacation we were waiting for. Now we can go and fly up. We know Allah is all truthful. We know the Quran is true. We know Allah said, if you give in the sake, in the cause of Allah, Allah will multiply that and give that back to you. So he should give his money towards sadaqah. Instead, he puts it towards investment. He puts it in real estate. He puts it in stocks. He puts it in crypto. He puts it in everything but the cause of Allah. Left hand. That's the bag in the left hand. So his real estate grows, his stocks grow, his crypto profile, everything is growing in the left hand. But he did not even give $100. If he gives $100 to sadaqah, it's painful. So much, $100. So much. 1,000? We think you're supposed to give $1,000 in Ramadan. Ramadan is the time to give $1,000. Why not just give $1,000 today? It's a big ask. $1,000. What are you talking about? But if I came to you and I said, brother, I have a proposal for you, and I will 10x your money in 1 year if you give me $1,000. You'll give it to me. You'll borrow money and give it to me. You know who else did that? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Prophet did that. He used to borrow money from people to help people who needed money. He used to say, can I borrow some money? He needs money. And then he would give him, I owe you the money. I borrowed from him, but now you have the money. Look at how beautiful he was. That he didn't even have the money to give, but he used to borrow the money just so he can help somebody else for the sake of Allah, because he knows his return is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the most perfect of creation. This is a man without sin, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he's doing this endlessly. And if I were to tell you, can you give $1,000? Not to me. Find any charity, someone who needs it. Find some. You know what's a really good way to help people? This is making life simple with money. Because the problem is, brothers and sisters, when you have excess money, it becomes a problem. When you have a little bit of money, it becomes a problem. Because you start thinking, what am I going to do with this money? How am I going to spend this money? How am I going to invest this money? What should I do? How do I secure this money? Secure what? Who gave it? Allah. What are you securing? Where did it come from? Allah. Do you think your insurance plan will protect you? Do you think your insurance plan will protect you? Do you think it will give you any dollar back? You have the full insurance plan and you pass away on the drive back home. May Allah protect us. I mean, but everything can happen. And what happens to your plan? What happens to your whole wealth management and down the drain? Security with Allah alone. Only Allah can protect us. Only Allah can secure us. Because He's the one who gave us this. So what happens? We make life complicated because we have too much money, we don't know what to do. So we start doing everything. We start investing, saving. We start spending on ourselves, but we never give. The last thing we do is we give, when it's the first thing we should be doing. These are ways we make life complicated. Brothers and sisters, we need to come to a lifestyle of simplicity. Simplicity is the answer we're looking for, and simplicity is what we need to seek. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. أما بعد. How do we attain a sense of simplicity? I was talking to a 10-year-old last week, and I was asking him about his clothing, his attire. He said, sometimes, I have these clothes in my wardrobe, and I don't know if it'll look nice. So I'll wear one outfit. I don't know if people will think it looks nice. So then I change it, and I go back, and I wear a different outfit. He's 10. Some of us are 30, we're still doing that. It's okay for him to do that, he's 10. Some of us are 30, some of us are 40, some of us are 50, we're still doing that. I told them, look, you want a solution to all your problems? Pick 7 outfits, there's 7 days. Monday is this outfit, Tuesday is this outfit, you just go with it. There's a child, so you give children simple solutions. Don't make it complicated for them. But the same answer we give to children, we can give ourselves. That the materials you have bought, you have within your possession, try not to have excess of it. People start collecting things. Look, if you call yourself a collector, it's a problem. Wallahi, it's a problem. I know it's a thing, it's a normal thing to collect. Some people collect shoes, some people collect games, some people collect clothing, some people collect watches. People have different collections. And the Western society, the capitalist society, made you think it's a good thing to collect. So look at my collection. Come to my house, you'll see my collection here. So you have all these things you don't use. That's what's happening. You're a hoarder. You're not a collector. You're a hoarder. You hoard items, and it's unhealthy because you're never going to be happy because the collection only grows. You don't need a collection. You just need what you need. You just need what you actually need. When we can start thinking like that, life becomes a lot better for us to consider. Brothers and sisters, here are the things that I want you to do. A few practical steps to get to it. One is how we spend our money. How we spend our money. We don't have to, brothers and sisters, we don't have to go out and eat every single week. It doesn't have to be a normal routine for us to go out every week. Every week to go out and do that is excessive. Live within your means of what you need. Live within your means of what's actually applicable. I gave the example in a previous khutbah of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, our first Khalifa. That when he found out he had excess money, how did he find out? His wife saved all the extra money they had, slowly over time. And she took that extra money. For what? Why did she keep extra money for? So she can get a new purse? So she can get a new bracelet? No. She saved the extra money so she can use that money to buy the ingredients to make a dessert that her husband loves. This is how much she loved her husband. When he came home and he saw the dessert, he asked, how did we get this dessert? She said, through the extra money I saved, I bought the ingredients, I made this for you. He said, are you telling me we have extra money? Give this to the people who need it. Give it to the fuqara. Give it to the faqir. I don't need this. Look at the love she has for her husband. And look at the love the husband has for Allah. This is called a beautiful relationship. This is a true relationship. So that's what happened. All the extra money she saved from the next month went to the fuqara, went to the poor people. This is called living simple. We are not like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, nor can we be. But we want to be closer to being like him because he is a rightly guided Khalifa. He is the best friend of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We want to be like them. So brothers and sisters, cut away the excess that you have and give away the clothing that you have. Not the clothing that is ripped apart and smells bad and it hasn't been used and it's in the basement for 10 years and now you want to give it to somebody. Would you wear that? Give the clothing you would wear. Give it to people who need it. Give your jackets to people in the wintertime who need a jacket. Donate that and come down to it. Cut down. In the Western concept, they call it decluttering. Declutter your space. Yeah, it's called simplicity. It's called sunnah. It's called living simply. That's what we need to do. That's the first thing. With your expenses, cut down. Second thing, with your attire, with your belongings, cut down. Get down to exactly what you need. And the third thing, if you want to live simply, cut away some time from all electronics every single day. And use that time to either focus on your family, focus on yourself, and focus on your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Set aside 15 minutes just for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. I'm not talking about prayers. I'm not talking about your prayers. I'm talking about 15 minutes. If you can find me 15 minutes today, from 3 o'clock to 11 p.m., just 15 minutes of your time where you sit without your phone, you just think about Allah, you think about how the year went, you think about your good deeds, you think about your bad deeds, you do muhasabah, you do counting of yourself. Just do that today for 15 minutes. And set an intention in your heart that from this moment onward, I will be a better slave to Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the best of this dunya and the akhirah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكون من الخاسرين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. عباد الله اتقوا الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون وأقيموا الصلاة.